Happy Monday, everybody. Following up to my message yesterday on the coronavirus, my pledge, and I want to bring as many value as you can home, especially on this stressful time. So today, that's what we're going to talk. Yesterday, I've addressed the importance of a very important immune system. Now it's a time more than ever to talk about your immune system, good health. And I know I've been in this business for a long time. Excuse my language, for Bruce Sweeney, there's a lot of BS, bullshit out there. So I'm going to debunk, keep it simple for you to use those tools. I hear a lot of emotional eating going on right now, and this is not the time to do it. If you're going to do it, there's alternative choice you can do. So I have great faith in the immune system, and also a good cup of coffee in the morning, organic coffee with no sugar. But that being said, is that some of you right now, you might not be coping with sleep. We're all watching too much TVs. We're glued on the internet. So everybody's talking about doing physical activities, taking some fresh air outside, not getting close at the same time to human contacts. So here's my practical tips. We're going to talk about anxiety first. We're going to talk about managing stress and how to do this with food, exercise, and breathing. As far as for anxiety, I'm hearing more and more, and I've got flooded this weekend on emails on anxiety. I am a great believer in exercising, walking outside. Take the pledge, disconnecting from your internet, Blu-ray, social media. Go for a walk, 15 minutes one side, come back. You'll feel a whole lot better. I've always been a great educator on breathing, the 4-7-8 breathing. I'll attach a post after on this. It's very simple. I truly believe in this form of breathing. And eating the right food. So what I'm going to share is food that can really reduce your anxiety. And at the same time, when you reduce your anxiety, don't forget anxiety, stress, and poor sleep sabotage your immune system. It puts it on a roller coaster, and right now is focusing on an optimal immune system. So rule number one, when it comes to anxiety, avoid any form of sugar. I mean, I'll be repeating this over and over. Why? Sugar and sugary drink depletes your level of magnesium. So we're going to talk about magnesium because it's really good for anxiety. So food first. I'm a great fan of avocado. I'm a great fan of nuts. Why nuts? They cover a broad spectrum of other nutrients, essential fatty acids. And one champion of nuts is almonds for me. I'm a big fan of walnuts. And here's the tip number one. This is not the time to buy almonds in bulk. I'm not saying or putting any name on it, but everything Clint and I consume home right now, and that's another topic I'll talk this week, we don't buy in bulk. Everything is in package. Everything is in can. There's healthy alternative we can have in can. So almonds, it's my choice. And I'm a big fan lately of Baru seed from the Amazon. They are very high in magnesium, very high in potassium. And at the same time, don't forget, we cannot just go and focus on the corona right now. Many of you have cardiovascular disease, cancer, autoimmune, and they need to really respond to focusing on their overall health. So I'm a big fan of these nuts. I take a handful of them. You don't have to measure them. But my number one superstar, everybody knows this, is dark chocolate, organic. This is not the time to buy chocolate candy bars or anything. I would highly suggest organic. And why this one is because it has over 70% dark chocolate. It's low in sugar, and it has almonds. Very good source of magnesium. Now, some of you might be a little bit sensitive to dark chocolate because it has theobromine, which is a mild stimulant. So I suggest to eat them early in the morning. Another thing too is that to disconnect from blue rays. I'll post this also after. You want to download the app. It's free, f.lux. I've always suggest this to my clients because it auto adjusts the blue rays. Blue rays, what it does, it sends a signal at night to your pineal gland, or you're really in daytime. So you're not producing as much melatonin, therefore you don't have the best night of sleep. I always been a great believer on suggesting my clients to connect, have more eye contact. This is a time really to spend quality time with our loved ones. I think that instead of being glued to the TV, and I get it, at night you should have one-on-one conversation. This is a time to, express your feeling, have more gratitude, don't hold any grudge, and tell your loved ones that you love them. Why is it that we have to wait until we're really in a dark corner to express our feelings? And it's not about becoming touchy-touchy. Everybody knows here I like to give hug, not this time of year, and I like to express my feeling. It's therapy and reduce anxiety and stress. So, second products I'm a big fan of is fatty fish. This is the time you want to avoid wild salmon or anything wild. You want to go, this is the time you want to avoid farm-raised salmon or farm-raised fish. Make sure you buy wild only. Wild salmon contains a high level of omega-3 and astaxanthin, which is potent for immune system. Omega-3 are good for depression, are good for anxiety. There's tons of studies, and omega-3s has proven the test of times. I suggest to ramp up your fatty fish right now at least once per day. It has cardio benefits. It's good for reducing inflammation also, and it keeps you full and happy. Now, if you don't like fatty fish, I'm a big fan of sardine also. I get it. Walnuts is my superstar on nuts. Why? Because they contain the highest amount of omega-3s of any nuts. And if you just don't like nuts, fatty fish, last resort is always taking an omega-3 supplements. Of course, we have omega-3 supplements at Simply for Life. The value of EPA and DHA directly reflected to the Mediterranean diet. You can get them in liquid form, which tastes absolutely delicious. This is good for kids. You can take a teaspoon of it. Everybody likes the flavor of this. And when it comes to managing your stress and anxiety, if food doesn't do it and you're very leery about food, you really need to pay special attention, because junk food depletes those essential nutrients that are vital for managing and coping with stress and anxiety. I've always been a big fan of magnesium. We do have our own brand of magnesium here. I suggest 3 times a day. Again, this is not a cure for the corona. This is if you choose, or you're just not in sync with eating whole food that can really maximize your benefits or restore your benefit of magnesium, only go for magnesium supplements. I use this all the time with any of my clients, business clients, or high intensity that they need to manage their stress and anxiety. If you don't like to take Aurum, Calm has a very good source of bioavailable magnesium, and it's also a champion to help with sleep at the same time. Now, if you do suffer for severe anxiety, and that's something I've seen, I said, Bruce, you know what? I'm doing all your tips. I'm eating good. I'm kind of nervous. I'm over the edge. What we're going to do, right? Or finance, this and that. Champion superstar for anxiety has always been GABA. I've always challenged anybody, you take GABA. This stuff, we used to get it in liquid and tablet form before, and it tastes awful. Now it's come up with a great tablet form you can dissolve under the tongue. So what I suggest with my clients who suffer from severe anxiety, the fear of flying, or anything as such, to take 1 or 2 lozenges, let it dissolve under your tongue, and wait 2 or 3 minutes. Anxiety always goes down by 75%. Or if you're in the middle of a panic or an anxiety attack, again, I'm not making this stuff up. It works. I've been at this for 25 years. GABA is a wonderful superstar. And second on the list is L-theanine, also good for anxiety. So to sum it up, really go healthy food first. Why? Because we know that anxiety, poor sleep, and stress compromise your immune system. I cannot say enough, I'm a great believer. Having a good immune system won't make you bulletproof with the corona or the flu, but I want to have a really good immune system in case I do get it. So I strive to survive as opposed to having a low immune system. Avoid all junk food at all costs. Avoid alcohol. Alcohol also deplete instantly your magnesium. And we also know that when you have a fast food meal, I'm not going to name any names, it compromises your immune system up to 10 days. There's no better time ever to spend time in the kitchen and cook some healthy, nutritious, a delicious meal. It's a great way for disconnecting yourself, because we're wired right now to social media. and you know where your food is coming from. So there you have it. Plenty of nuts in your lifestyle. Time to do it. Fatty fish, go for it. Dark chocolate, I'm a big fan of it, but make sure you don't buy the junk food, buy an organic brand. And I'm just a big fan of this one that we have here, simply because it has almonds and it tastes delicious too at the same time. And if you're sensitive to theobromine, which is a mild stimulant, make sure to have it first thing in the morning. Some of you, they have no issues consuming it in the afternoon. I always suggest about 2 ounces of dark chocolate every day. It's part of my healthy lifestyle. And the same thing, if you're gonna have your cup of coffee or your jolt in the morning, make sure that you have organic, don't put a slew of sugar and all kinds of crap into it. And most of all, stay calm, do some activities outside, go for a nature walk, nature trail, practice the 4-7-8 breathing. I'll have this under. And tomorrow, my topic at 8 o'clock will be why you should never mortgage your health to dietary weight loss product or weight loss food. We need now more than ever to understand there's a huge difference between whole food and weight loss food. And I will explain why, what are the traps out there. At the end of the day, our great-grandparents knew how to eat very well. They were not bulletproof to disease, but they had a really good immune system, which is key of survival. And like I finished yesterday, a good immune system for me, it's like putting money for the rainy days. Something happens, at least you have a resource that you can dive into. Same thing with your immune system. Thanks for following, everybody. Make sure to practice those tools. Disconnect tonight, an hour and a half to 2 hours prior to going to bed. Spend time with your loved ones. Do more eye contact. Have great conversation. Cook delicious food. Serve it at the table. Go for a walk. Apply the F.LUX app. So if you cannot disconnect, because it will mediate the blue rays, so your pineal gland is getting the right message that it's time to go sleep, because poor quality sleep is directly correlated to many diseases. And right now we're focused on the corona, but we have to look at overall health and well-being and vitality, because it's all about having a good quality of life. Good luck, everybody, and I'll be sharing more tips tomorrow morning. And thanks for following. And then my assistant Claudine, you might see her, she's going to put the off button. Thank you. Take care.